You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. We did find out from Brody Miller's report over the weekend that John Emery is going to be suspended for the first 2 games of the season. I'm not sure if there's any update there. We'll ask Brian Kelly this evening as well. The other part of Brody Miller's report is that Raydarious Jones has been suspended for the entire season. And because the Emery news and the quarterback news was more prevalent, we didn't really talk much about Raydarious Jones yesterday. And honestly, I had a buddy that covers the SEC, covers the whole league, sent me a text yesterday and said, real talk here, how big of a deal is the Raydarious Jones news? I said, honestly, it's not. And it's not a big deal for 2022. And I'll put it to you this way. If losing Raydarious Jones for 2022 is a big deal, then this team has real issues. Not a knock on Raydarious Jones, but you went and signed 4 veteran transfers at cornerback. And all of them have been rotating, taking first-team reps as of right now. Bernard-Converse, Mekhi Gardner, Sevyn Banks, Colby Richardson. I have to pause every time I say it just to make sure I don't say Dickerson. But anyway, those are your guys. So if those aren't your guys, then you got a problem. So you should be good there this year at cornerback. You like your four guys, and after that, you got some young guys that haven't played a bunch. But the bigger issue really is in 2023 and beyond at cornerback, because you're going to get real young real quick. Because you have to assume the 4 vets are going to be gone. Bernard-Converse, Mekhi Gardner, Sevyn Banks, they're all fifth-year guys. And then Colby Richardson is a 6th-year player. So all of them are exhausting their eligibility. And then provide, barring some waiver or something like that. And beyond those 4, you got 3 guys. You got Demarius McGee, who's a sophomore. And then the 2 true freshmen, LaTerrence Welsh and Jalen Davis-Robinson. That's it. Raydarious Jones, of course, is into his 4th year now, but he's academically ineligible for the year, according to the report, so you're without him. So there's a big question as to whether or not he'll be back next year. Don't know. Would he choose to not? I don't know. If Raydarious Jones is suspended for this entire season, he's a 4th-year player, he could certainly choose to enter the transfer portal, go play at a lower level, play in the JUCO or the FCS ranks and be eligible. Don't know. Don't know what he plans to do. I have no clue. But it certainly is reasonable to suggest that his future at LSU is in question. So take Raydarious Jones and put him on the side because his future certainly is up in the air. That leaves you with Demarius McGee, LaTerrence Welsh, and Jalen Davis-Robinson, a sophomore and 2 freshmen. You got 4 cornerbacks committed currently in the 2023 class. That's why, clearly, this is roster management. That's why Brian Kelly has looked at that position and made it such an emphasis in this 2023 cycle. Dalen Austin, the 4-star from California. Kai Preon, the 4-star from St. James, who committed last week. Remember, he's listed as an athlete. He could play corner or receiver, but for the purposes of this conversation, let's assume that they might give him some run at corner. Jeremiah Hughes is the 3-star from Bishop Gorman out in Las Vegas, and then Ashton Samps is the 3-star from Rummel down in Metairie, although people love him and think he's one of those guys that as he plays through his senior year is going to see his star rating and his ranking rise dramatically. But either way, you got 4 cornerbacks committed. That's more than you have underclassmen on your roster right now. So you are going to get real young real fast after this season. They will likely have to go back into the transfer portal to add some type of veteran presence for the 2023 season. In a real world, you would love to see these young guys grow up in a hurry and take the reins. I mean, we've seen that in the past. I mean, Elias Rick started as a freshman. Derek Stingley started as a freshman. I could even go back and look at Greedy Williams in 2017 when he redshirted in 2016 and only got the start against BYU in 2017 in the opener Because if you remember, they had an injury, and then Christian Fulton was ineligible. So he got thrust in there, had a pick his first 2 games, never looked back. It was awesome. So sometimes young guys will make that leap, and LSU is going to need that at the cornerback position. But Raydarious Jones, the report, academically ineligible. We'll see what his future holds at LSU. But after the 4 veterans, you got a whole bunch of dudes that haven't played really at all, and then 4 freshmen coming in next year behind them. So you better believe that Brian Kelly and his staff are going to go attack the portal again to bring in some veteran presence in that secondary. But you got to hope those young guys take a big leap. And I'll be honest, I'm really pulling for LaTerrence Welch. Not that I know any of these guys, but the way LaTerrence Welch handled the Elias Ricks transferring situation last year, just I don't know that I'll ever forget that. When Elias Ricks announced he was transferring, and we've talked about this before, but when Elias Ricks announced he was transferring, Dwight McGlothern quote tweeted Elias Ricks and said, "We were supposed to be great together." And then LaTerrence Welch went and quote tweeted Dwight McGlothern and said, "Hey, let's be great together." Basically saying, we don't need him. Let's roll, you and me. We got this. And for that position, I want that dude. I want that dude that thinks he's the man, knows he's the man, and ain't afraid of being the man. And I think Welch has some of that in him. He's a freshman, probably not going to see the field much this year, but that's a guy I'm really pulling for in the future. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.